What's up, strongest men, women, and children from blocks all around the world? I am my block strongest man, and welcome to tonight to my World's Strongest Man 2021 Episode 3 reaction. Yes, CBS Sports aired this evening the Group 3 qualifiers for World's Strongest Man 2021, and so tonight we are going to discuss my World's Strongest Man 2021 CBS Sports Episode 3 reactions. So, um, that being said, let's get right into it. First of all, I tuned in at about 8:03 Eastern Time. I had seen on Instagram that World's Strongest Man posted that 8:30 Eastern Time would be the start time, and just not that big of a deal. But going forward for the future episodes, you all may want to pay close attention. It started at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, not 8:30 p.m. as they stated on their Instagram. So just make sure to tune in a half hour earlier on consecutive Thursdays. So I did ask them on Instagram when are the other episodes airing, and they said each Thursday night at 8:30 p.m., which I assume now is 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time between now and September. And I think there's a Saturday in September where they mentioned the final being at 2:30 p.m. on that particular Saturday. You can check their Instagram with my back and forth with them in the comments, and you'll see exactly what date that is in September. So that being said, I tuned in. I was running back and forth and doing some errands, so I caught what I could catch. And what I first saw was the medley with JF Caron. So I saw him go through all of the implements, make it to the frame. And interestingly enough, it seemed like he wasn't sprinting full speed to get back from the third implement over to pick up the frame. I don't know if he was already injured with his hamstring at that point. It's possible, but he seemed like it was like a little bit of a leisurely jog. So, also may have been conserving his energy to get to the frame. He did put down the frame a couple of times along the run. And, the Colin Bryce and the commentators were mentioning how they were surprised how he didn't get it down all in one run. But it was a heavy frame. We had Travis Ortmeyer on the channel, and he mentioned how the frame kind of had a little sticker on the crossbar with the real weight, which was heavier than what it was listed to weigh. So that may have contributed to it as well. But JF ran out of time before he ran out of energy on that frame portion. So he did fall a little bit short of Robert Oberst's distance. If there were an extended time, he may have passed it. But that being said, that's where he ended there. Then we moved on to, they went into the squats. So they were showing the squats, and it was interesting to see all the different squats. JF just blew through them, right? So they showed Athor Melstead first doing the squats. And the really kind of eye-catching thing with Athor was he had his belt really high up, like right under his pecs, to try to brace himself for this particular manner of squats that had the giant bells on the end that you had to kind of hit the pads at an equal time to keep from throwing your balance off. And Athor did manage to to get out quite a few reps there. Then came Shivlikov. And Shivlikov looked like he had all kinds of trouble just getting it off the rack, was shaking like crazy, and then belts out 10 reps anyway. So it was really an unbelievable performance. It seems like pain and discomfort just doesn't affect this guy, which we already knew. But it was amazing to see it one more time, to see him pick that squat off the rack, looking like he wouldn't even be able to do a rep, and gets 10 reps out. So, I really do love doing analysis of contests like this, doing predictions, how my predictions went, talking about how the athletes did, and really digging into the analytics of this analysis. And if you like the analysis that I've done here and some of the other contests I've done in the past, like the Mammoth Strength Challenge and Central Georgia Strongest Man, and you'd like to learn a little bit more about the guys that are putting that all together and live streaming that great content for you, this stream is sponsored by Garage Gym Life Media, who is making all of that possible. So let's learn a little bit more from founder John Greaves III about all the wonderful things they're doing over there.
Training in a home gym, especially if you're training by yourself, can be tough because sometimes you just don't have the motivation to go in your garage or your basement and get it done. And that's why we stream competitions every month on the Garage Gym Life Media YouTube channel. I'm John Greaves, the third founder of Garage Gym Life Media, and after 20 years of training in a home gym, I can tell you that there's some days when I just don't feel like training. And those are the days when I put on some sort of training video or other strength-related content to give me the extra motivation I need to get in there and get it done. There is nothing more motivating than seeing people achieving their goals at a powerlifting meet or a strongman competition. And that's why month after month, we provide that content to you right there in the comfort of your own home on our YouTube channel. Plus, we leave it up forever so you can always just throw it on in the background anytime you need that extra dose of motivation to get you going. And that's why, if you're not already a subscriber to Garage Gym Life Media, I invite you to take advantage of this opportunity to add this powerful training tool into your arsenal, because I want you to succeed right there in the best gym in town.
And we do thank John Greaves and Garage Gym Life Media for their continued support of my channel, My Blog Strongest Man. We really do appreciate that. You should definitely check my description below for the link to subscribe to Garage Gym Life Media. And while you're at it, John has an incredibly valued membership you should check out as well. I'm a member and getting great value out of it there. So thank you, Garage Gym Life Media, again, for sponsoring this stream. And all of you, remember to check the description below for that link to go subscribe to that very valuable channel as well. So moving on, the other thing I wanted to kind of show here as well, and we'll show it really briefly, is if we share our screen. So again, I'll only show a couple seconds here because I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but this is Luke Richardson, and you can see the injury happen. So there's the bicep injury. And so I kind of just wanted to point that out. Again, all credit to CBS Sports there. Luke Richardson seems like in that particular medley, the barrel into the frame medley injured his bicep right there, and you can kind of. It was interesting to see it actually happen on CBS Sports, where I think it was very, very obvious he was looking down at his bicep in the tendon area, and very unfortunate that the injury happened there. But he withdrew after that event, so very likely that that's where it happened. So. Just giving my thoughts on what I saw during the show, different things that caught my attention, and that was clearly one of the most eye-catching things that caught my attention. Then, of course, we go back to the discussion of the squat. And on the squat, we had Robert Oberst, who, if you all have followed the results of World's Strongest Man, know zeroed out the squat. So he was doing very well, did very well on the loading and frame medley. And then on the squat, zeroed it out, did not get a rep. And there was some talk of knee sleeve issues and suit issues, squat suit issues. So I watched this very closely, and suit issues are hard to determine, right? Like Big Loz, for example, at the Strongman Classic, found it hard to breathe in a suit when he was doing the deadlift. And so you don't see that from the outside. You're not seeing a malfunction of any kind, but it still can hinder the athlete. So I didn't see any kind of malfunction on Robert Oberst's suit for squatting, but that doesn't mean he wasn't having issues with it, right? So the knee sleeves, though, I was watching pretty closely. I watched the replays, and I didn't see him pop off or anything like that. So it'd be interesting to find out from anybody in the audience in your comments who may be a little bit more familiar or have some information about what happened there, because I didn't see him tear or pop off or anything like that. Again, the suit might have been giving him trouble, and you just wouldn't know from being a bystander and an onlooker there. For anybody who's here for the first time, if you like the analysis you're hearing and have not yet liked this stream or subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that. I really would appreciate that very much. And so moving on to some more of the action. And again, I was in and out of the room because I did not expect the show to start when it started, given what was posted online. But I mentioned Shivlikov's squat. And so then sort of the second half of the show, well, the other thing that really caught me by surprise that I have to mention is I watched those events. It was 8:25, and so the way that World's Strongest Man does a 1-hour show is in 2 half-hour shows, right? So they end the first show and then kind of pick up with a quick recap in the second show, and then show the rest of the events for that particular group. So it was 8:25 p.m. when they finished everything that I've described to you so far, and I thought, okay, they're going to go to commercial, finish off this episode, start off the next one. I'll run out of the room and do something for 5 minutes. I come back and I notice that they've, in that 5 minutes, shown a very abbreviated version of the train push, and I missed the whole thing. So, yeah, maybe not the greatest editing there, where you kind of use all of the time for for 2 events and then 5 minutes at the end, or even less because it was in the middle of a commercial when I left the room. You may have lost some viewers there, just being honest. So then in the second 30-minute show that World's Strongest Man put out, they showed the front hold, and so the front hold was very interesting. Shivlikov, who looked super shaky in the first of the 2 half-hour episodes on the squat, but still put out 10 reps, looked shaky on the front hold and didn't do very well. So it was something around the 23-second mark or something along those lines. Just again started shaking all over and kind of couldn't hold it. JF Caron, on the other hand, had a very good front hold and I think could have gone a lot longer. But then put it down when he knew he had done enough. He was leading in the group anyway, and so kind of what we expected there. Not like a 5.86 seconds or whatever that Brian Shaw did when he had the group locked up, where he kind of held it for a short amount of time and then waved it around with one hand. It wasn't a display like that, but JF went longer and kind of stopped before he went all out on the front hold. So that's my observation there. And then we moved into the stone off, which was the end of the second of the half-hour episodes, and it was Robert Oberst against Athor Melstead. So the way that the stone offs worked, again, for those who are unfamiliar, is the person in third place in the group goes first with the first stone, and then the person in second place in the group has to match that. So they keep going back and forth with the advantage in that sort of setup going to the person in second place in the group because they're not lifting first, right? They're just having to match what the third place person did. So in this case, Robert Oberst was lifting first. And if I counted right, they did get all the way to the sixth stone. And Oberst was doing really well. Athor looked smoother, I'll say that. So Oberst was a little bit belabored, but not having a lot of issue with the increasing weights of the stones. They got to stone 6, and it seemed like everything just everything just went on that stone. So he ran out of tacky. He ran out of time. He seemed to be getting very tired. All that happened to him all at once on that stone. So kind of a confluence of issues, whereas Athor was still going strong and didn't have to match a 6th stone because Robert Oberst wasn't able to do it. And then Athor moves through to the final. So those were my observations of CBS Sports World's Strongest Man 2021. CBS Sports Episode 3, where we saw Group 3 compete. JF Caron, Robert Oberst, Athor Melstead, Mikhail Shivlikov, and Luke Richardson, who unfortunately sustained that injury that we did get to see on TV happen in front of our very eyes. So all the best goes out to Luke Richardson. And on a side note, they did show the bios for some of the guys where they were, talking about their journeys before getting to World's Strongest Man. And they discussed the death of Robert Oberst's father on a very unfortunate event. I mean, I lost my father years ago. I really can relate to the pain involved there. And Robert was talking about how he was doing it for him, and this was going to drive him. And you gotta say he did have one of his greatest World's Strongest Man performances ever. He really did. He didn't make the finals, but he did very, very well in multiple events. So for sure, Robert Oberst, if you happen to be watching this, our condolences do go out to you. I feel your pain. Like I said, I lost my dad a long time ago, and nothing but condolences and best wishes there. Let's see, Kieran, what's up, Kieran? Are you going to do a prediction spreadsheet for Giants Live World Open? I am. I am. So I did a prediction spreadsheet for the Deadlift World Championships last night that I did release, and I am going to assemble one for the World Open. The one thing that's peculiar about that, though, I know that the events have leaked, and some people know it. And Big Loss put out his video, but he's always on the insider knowledge. He knows events before anybody does, so I'm not surprised there. But what I am surprised is the Giants Live website. I didn't check it today, but yesterday I didn't see a list of events. They seem to be slow to update their website on the latest developments, right? So they have their full list of competitors. They have their list of 5 guest deadlifters, again, which I rated yesterday in my World Deadlift Championship live stream, which you should check out. I won't tell you who I think may or may not break the world record. You got to go check out that video to know. But yeah, like I didn't see any of their events listed. So I'll search Instagram. Maybe it's on Giants Live Instagram and see if I can find it there. But it'd be nice to have it on the website all in one place. That's all I'm saying. They could do a slightly better job in updating their website. But yes, to answer your question, I am planning on doing a spreadsheet for World Open. I did start a YouTube membership for my channel where I'm putting all my spreadsheets of all time that I've ever created one by one on there for anybody who ever wants to play around with them or have them for reference. I did one about the BMIs for every World's Strongest Man and Arnold winner ever, and compared like what's the optimum height, weight, and BMI. So all that stuff for anyone who's interested and wants to support the channel at my level 2 membership. All those spreadsheets are going up there. So yeah, definitely going to do that. Interested to see your event predictions for Pablo. So is he doing a full show? Because the Giants Live website has him just as a guest deadlifter, and that's what I'm talking about. If he's doing the full show, they didn't say that on their website. So you may have more up to date information than I have there. So yeah, I've only predicted him for the deadlift championships thus far, and you can check it out. I kind of went a different way. My thumbnail, if you're looking for it, will stick out a little from my other ones. It's Mount Rushmore with the 5 heads of the deadlifters on there, so you'll be able to pick it out easily. Laz reckons he is. If Laz reckons he is, then he is. Not that things could happen, travel and whatnot, but like I said, Laz typically he's in the know, right? He's a celebrated former athlete and former by a couple of weeks, right? Because he just decided to hang it up. But yeah, he's typically has at least a little bit more information than the rest of us, or a little sooner than the rest of us. So yeah, if he thinks that he is, then he likely is. So very good. But yes, so I am going to be putting together that spreadsheet. I got to do something for the Rainier Classic, which is Washington State's first Pro-Am happening this weekend on the 7th. So I got to whip something up for tomorrow there. We had a few pros drop out there, so we're going to do some quick predictions and reactions there as well. And what else do I have to do? I think that's it for now. And then Giants Live has more shows after that. So, and then of course, keep your eyes open, because I have actually been invited into a partnership where I'll be doing live color commentary for a particular show coming up in February of 2022. So more on that as we get closer, and what that's all about. But keep your eyes and ears open for that. If you haven't liked this stream yet, please go ahead and do that. If you like what you've heard, subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and listen to all of my contest analysis and athlete interviews. I did interview 5 World's Strongest Man competitors on this channel before they competed. So go ahead and listen to all of that. Chris van der Linde was a good one. And thank you again for joining me. And of course, as always, until next time, ciao, homie.